The American people often find themselves embroiled in heated battles over their preferred candidates, fostering deep divisions and animosity. Yet, the stark reality remains: their individual votes carry no weight in the grand scheme. Ultimately, it is the Electoral College that selects the President of the United States, rendering much of this conflict meaningless. The popular vote, ultimately, doesn't matter. If every American stayed home, the vote would be the same. As we embark on this exploration of the U.S. presidential election process, it's crucial to understand the underlying mechanics that shape our democracy. This book delves into the complexities of how presidents are chosen, not by the will of the people, but by the Electoral College. In this system, even if every American citizen chose to stay home on election day, the outcome would remain unchanged. The president would be selected based on the votes of electors who are not directly accountable to the public. The U.S. elections typically occur during Scorpio season, a time associated with transformation and intensity. As the leaves change and the days shorten, this season brings a sense of urgency and change. The alignment of the election cycle with this astrological period invites reflection on the powerful undercurrents that influence the electoral process and the political landscape. Additionally, we find ourselves in an unusual electoral cycle in leap years. These years, which occur every 4 years, add an extra day to the calendar, February 29th. This anomaly serves as a metaphor for the unique nature of presidential elections, highlighting how an additional day can symbolize a pause for reflection on the electoral process and its implications for the future of democracy. The role of the Electoral College. The most vital aspect to grasp is that the Electoral College, not the American electorate, ultimately selects the president. This process raises significant questions about representation and the true power of the vote. The system creates a scenario where the popular vote can be disregarded, emphasizing that, in reality, the decision-making power lies not with the voters, but with the electors. As we navigate through the chapters, we will analyze pivotal elections, the implications of the Electoral College, and the larger impact of these dynamics on American democracy. The following sections will challenge the conventional understanding of voting and illuminate the intricate web of politics that defines our nation's leadership. In the 2016 presidential election, it became starkly evident that the American people did not choose their president. The Electoral College did. This election highlighted a fundamental flaw in the democratic process, suggesting that ultimately not one single American needed to vote because their decision didn't matter in the face of the electoral system. Donald Trump, the Republican candidate, emerged victorious despite losing the popular vote to Hillary Clinton, the Democratic candidate. Trump secured 304 electoral votes, while Clinton garnered 227, underscoring the disconnect between the electorate's choices and the final outcome. Donald Trump, Republican Party, a businessman and television personality, Trump campaigned on a platform of "Make America Great Again," focusing on immigration and national security. Hillary Clinton, Democratic Party, a seasoned politician and former Secretary of State, Clinton aimed to continue the policies of the Obama administration and promote women's rights. Allegations emerged regarding Russian interference in the election, with intelligence agencies claiming that cyber attacks and disinformation campaigns aimed to influence the outcome in favor of Trump, raising serious concerns about the integrity of the electoral process. Clinton faced intense scrutiny for her use of a private email server during her time as Secretary of State. This issue dominated the campaign narrative and was a focal point for Trump and his supporters, who accused her of mishandling classified information. The 2016 election was a stark reminder of the power of the Electoral College, as Trump's victory underscored the system's potential to override the popular will. The controversies that followed his election not only shaped the political landscape but also set the stage for the elections that followed. Moving back to the 2000 presidential election, we encounter another striking instance where the Electoral College's decision diverged from the popular vote. George W. Bush, the Republican candidate, faced Al Gore, the Democratic candidate, in a race that would be defined by its contentious conclusion. George W. Bush, Republican Party, The son of former President George H.W. Bush, he positioned himself as a uniter, emphasizing compassionate conservatism and tax cuts. Al Gore, Democratic Party, the sitting vice president under Bill Clinton, Gore focused on environmental issues and continuing the economic policies of the previous administration. The controversy. The election hinged on the state of Florida, where a razor-thin margin led to a recount. Ultimately, the Supreme Court's decision in Bush v. Gore halted the recount, allowing Bush to claim the state and its electoral votes. He won 271 electoral votes to Gore's 266, despite losing the popular vote by over 500,000 votes. By reflecting on the outcome, this election underscored the fragility of the democratic process and highlighted the challenges of the Electoral College, raising questions about voter disenfranchisement and the legitimacy of the electoral outcome. The Electoral College consists of 538 electors, with 270 required to win the presidency. Each state's allocation of electors is based on its congressional representation, combining both Senate and House members. This structure creates an uneven representation, as smaller states receive a disproportionately higher number of electoral votes relative to their population. This summary covers U.S. presidents who were elected by the Electoral College despite losing the popular vote, underscoring how the system can override the direct choice of the people. In 5 notable elections, 1824, 1876, 1888, 2000, and 2016, the Electoral College selected presidents who did not win the popular vote, sparking debates about the role and fairness of this system. These cases reveal how a small group of electors ultimately decides the presidency, even when it contradicts the broader electorate's choice. 1. John Quincy Adams, 1824. Electoral College vote 84. Adams versus 99. Andrew Jackson. Popular vote. Jackson won the popular vote but did not secure an electoral majority, leading the decision to the House of Representatives, which selected Adams in what became known as the corrupt bargain. 2. Rutherford B. Hayes, 1876. Electoral College vote 185. Hayes versus 184. Samuel J. Tilden. Popular vote. Tilden led by roughly 250,000 votes. Summary. In a hotly disputed election with accusations of fraud, a bipartisan commission awarded Hayes enough electoral votes to win, contingent on the end of Reconstruction. 3. Benjamin Harrison, 1888. Electoral College vote 233. Harrison versus 168. Grover Cleveland. Popular vote. Cleveland led by around 90,000 votes. Summary. Harrison won key swing states that boosted his electoral count, despite a national popular vote loss. 4. George W. Bush, 2000. Electoral College vote 271. Bush versus 266. Al Gore. Popular vote. Gore led by approximately 540,000 votes. Summary. A highly controversial election, especially in Florida, led to a Supreme Court decision halting the recount, ultimately securing Bush's win via the Electoral College. 5. Donald Trump, 2016. Electoral College vote 304. Trump versus 227. Hillary Clinton. Popular vote. Clinton led by nearly 2.9 million votes. Summary. Trump's victory in several key states secured his Electoral College win, despite losing the popular vote by a significant margin, sparking extensive debate over the Electoral College system. The 1984 election featured a decisive victory for Ronald Reagan of the Republican Party against Walter Mondale of the Democratic Party. This election showcased the power of incumbency and the influence of a strong economy on voter sentiment. The system can lead to voter apathy, as citizens may feel that their votes carry less weight in states with a strong partisan lean. This dynamic can suppress turnout, especially in states where the outcome seems predetermined. Given the recurring discrepancies between popular votes and electoral outcomes, calls for reforming or abolishing the Electoral College have gained traction. Advocates argue for a direct popular vote system, contending it would enhance democratic legitimacy and voter engagement.